Let me tell you about the worst meeting of my life. I walked in with a killer presentation. Weeks of work. I knew I was right. My manager looked at me and said, "Have you actually thought this through?" And I froze. Because honestly, I hadn't. I had assumed my way through the whole thing. Turns out, a guy who died in 399 BC, who owned literally nothing, who never once held a corporate job, had already figured out exactly what went wrong in that room. His name was Socrates. Chapter 1. Socrates. Picture Athens, 470 BC. The city is buzzing, politicians are making speeches, businessmen are cutting deals, lawyers are winning arguments, everyone is performing confidence. And then there's this one guy, barefoot, shabby cloak, kind of ugly by his own admission, walking up to the most important people in the city and asking them one simple question. Yes, but do you actually know why that's true? That man was Socrates, and within minutes, every single person he spoke to, the generals, the politicians, the so-called experts, started falling apart. Because when he kept asking why, they realized they didn't actually know what they thought they knew. He called this the Socratic method. Takeaway, the Socratic Friday. Here's what this looks like for you, right now, this week. Every Friday, before you log off, pick one belief you acted on that week, a strategy, a decision, an assumption about a colleague or a client, and ask yourself why. 5 times, not once, 5 times. Why do I think this approach works? Because it always has. Why has it always worked? Because my manager told me so. Why did my manager say that? Actually, I don't know. By the third, why, you'll either discover the idea is rock solid, or you'll catch something that could have cost you seriously. That's not just philosophy, that's career protection. Chapter 2. Plato. You might be living someone else's version of success and not even know it. Socrates never wrote a single word, but his student, Plato, wrote everything down. And one story Plato wrote changed the way I think about my entire career trajectory. It's called The Allegory of the Cave, and I need you to really sit with this one. Imagine you've been chained inside a cave since the day you were born. Behind you, a fire. In front of you, a wall. All you've ever seen are shadows dancing on that wall. You don't know they're shadows. To you, those shadows are reality. You name them. You debate them. You build your entire understanding of the world around them. Now someone breaks your chains, drags you outside, into the sunlight, and it's blinding, painful, disorienting. For a moment, you'd give anything to go back into that comfortable dark cave where everything made sense. But once your eyes adjust, you see trees, you see color, you see the actual sun, and you realize everything you thought was real was just a shadow of something much bigger. Now replace the cave with your LinkedIn feed. Replace the shadows with everyone else's highlight reel. The promotions they're announcing, the companies they're joining, the "I'm humbled and excited to share" posts. Plato wrote this story to say, education is not just learning more facts. Education is the painful, disorienting, absolutely necessary process of questioning what you thought was real. Plato had one more idea I want you to carry with you. He talked about love, and not just romantic love. He described something called Diotima's ladder. The idea is this: love starts with something physical, something you can see and touch. But if you let it, love grows. It climbs, from loving one beautiful thing to loving the idea of beauty, from loving one person's mind to falling in love with knowledge itself. For young professionals, this is everything. Takeaway: the cave audit. This week, do a cave audit. Take out a piece of paper and write down your top 3 career goals. Then next to each one, honestly answer, is this what I actually want? Or is this a shadow I've been watching on someone else's wall? Then write one thing, just one, that genuinely excites you about your work. Not what impresses people, what actually excites you. Start there. That's the bottom rung of Plato's ladder. Chapter 3. Aristotle. Stop trying to be perfect. Start trying to be balanced. While Plato spent his time chasing ideal forms and transcendent truths, Aristotle looked around at the actual, messy, complicated real world, and said, okay, but how do we actually live in it? He catalogued plants, he studied governments, he analyzed human behavior like a scientist, and the concept he landed on, the one I think about almost every single week, is called the golden mean. The golden mean is the space in between, confident enough to speak, humble enough to listen, decisive enough to act, patient enough to wait.
Which of the three hit you the hardest? Socrates, Plato, or Aristotle, and why? If this made you think mine, share it with one person, one colleague, one friend who's trying to figure it out. Because honestly, that's the most Socratic thing you could do. I'll see you in the next one.